this listening and talking to another person?
No.
Or his hands are gone?
Like next, like chair here,
Yes.
chair, and like event, this chair, and I
Yeah.
do it,
Yeah.
and hit A.
Now let's move forward. He's frustrated. So now he's thinking, oh, I can't make her do it. Now he's talking, his body, his face is turning away. He's talking to somebody else.
And I have the opportunity to fix the pattern.
So he's still sitting right here.
And then I did A, B, C, D.
And this time, when you're doing everything in order, is he touching you, yes or no? Are you touching?
No, he's right there though.
Yeah,
Like,
he's right here,
yes.
but he's not his
Touching, yeah.
So you're doing it alone, on your own.
No.
And how did you feel being able to put the keys, was it when you were touching the keys, you had to use your eyes to find them because they're not in order?
Yeah, I saw, no, I saw
first
that
you
they
have
were
to-
not in order.
Yeah, so now you have to find the A.
No,
that's-
first I tried to pull them off.
Oh, uh-huh.
And then they took it away from me, the keyboard, yeah.
Because you're pulling to try to put them in order.
Yeah, damage, and like damage, like breaking the books.
Don't break the expensive computer! Like that. Like you're breaking it. No, no, no.
No, that's not what she said. She said that's why I knew this was going to be a waste of time because they were going to break it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she said.
But
I told you this is going to be a waste of time.
But Mr. White would not give up.
Yeah.
He didn't say, yes, it's a waste of time, let's take it away forever.
No, he says I look at the books before I eat them.
He's good at paying attention. Listening. More than most typical people.
Yeah.
So you, first you're trying to pull off the letters. When you know they can't pull off, when did you make the connection that if you touch a letter, you can see it on the screen?
When he tried to spell my name.
So then, this is a new idea when you're a little girl. Well, you're not so little, you're 12. So then, now he's talking to somebody else and not paying attention. He's frustrated. He's sitting next to you. But now that he's leaving you alone and not pushing your hands, you can try to touch the button A instead of touching the J and get them in order.
And then it was A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. The way it was supposed to.
And when you are finding, because like for example, the name of the typing board you were using is called a QWERTY board because it starts with the Q, W, E,
Yes, I know that now.
Yeah. So the A is on a QWERTY board, the A is on the lower left side.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have to use your eyes to find it, right? I mean, not now, but I mean when you're 12 years old, you had to look down at the board to find the letter A, right? Using your eyes and then touch?
No, I knew it was already out of order.
Right, so you're going to put it in order, and the only way to put it in order is touch the A first and push it. And then you have to find the B.
But I already knew it was on the left-hand side.
In the corner.
Yes, because it was in order.
Because
it was out of order.
Right, and had you, by looking at the keyboard, you had memorized where all the letters were in the out of order? Like, how did you find the B next?
By remembering.
It's in the third row down in the middle?
I remember, like, photograph. I did find it again after I looked, and then sometimes I looked, sometimes I didn't look.
But you remembered approximately where it was?
Yes.
were you using one finger on one hand or one finger on each hand, or only one finger? Which way to start to get the alphabet in order? One finger?
This one first.
Yeah. Then, so you have a photograph in your mind, because you take like a photograph and remember where everything is out of order.
Yeah,
so you know if you go in the bottom left,
then you remember
the
then
bottom
you have
row, all the way to the left, you can find that A.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to remember to backtrack. Yeah.
Because is it easy for you to see and touch at the same time?
No.
No, so you gotta have a strategy.
Yes.
And you really want to get it in order.
Yes, but
sometimes
you couldn't get it into order because you missed that. That was a problem. I would look and then look away sometimes.
And then try to still get it.
Yeah.
Today, do you look when you type?
No.
Yes or no?
No, because now I know where I got
memorized.
I got some. Yeah. Now I know, like, have it for
so many years.
Yeah. But then it was just if I miscalculated, it won't show on the television.
Yes.
The way it was supposed to.
The screen, the television screen where the letters are.
Yeah.
So you could.
Then I punched the screen, but it won't come off. So.
And no way to ask, how do I erase? How do I change?
I was always fixed, but afterwards, I got more refinement on the words.
Was there any idea to you that if you could get refinement, you could tell people things?
No.
What was your interest in refining words or ABC and things like that, to put things in order?
Yes.
And then
what was myself?
And then once you had everything in order, why was your interest in words?
I didn't think it would change everything. But it did.
So, was it that you were just typing words and then people started paying a lot of attention to you?
That was it.
And it's like, oh, this is the game, this is the rules.
I was fixing the patterns and then making other patterns.
Now,
Dick and Jane books and golden books.
What was the difference?
I put Dick and I also put Jane and Spot. Spot wasn't a spot, Spot was a dog called Spot. So I think I did Dick, Jane, Spot, dog, things, patterns, and that was when everything changed.
Now, when did it become, was it your idea or people like Mr. White's idea to try to make the words more than just copying words? Like for an answer to a question, Julie, are you hungry, yes or no? Like, when did it change to being for your idea or Mr. White's idea to go to being about talking, not just copying or putting in patterns or order?
No, when they saw I was spelling, that was when they said that word, and that was something stiff there. Stiff. Was not Mr. Right. It was somebody else said, where is this coming from? Where did this come from? Yes, that was, where did this come from? There was something wrong with the voice, like I did something wrong. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be the words together. Then they were talking before, like they do. when they don't think you're listening or paying attention.
Or when they
And
think
they
you're
said
invisible.
that they said she can spell. And they said, how did that happen?
How did it happen? Because of all your reading?
How can it not happen?
Yeah, because they didn't know you could read yet.
They said I couldn't read at all.
And suddenly you're spelling. And then,
So since they said I couldn't read, I must have been doing something else then.
just copying, not spelling. But then they figure out you can spell. Now, do you have any idea
They
yet?
found out that I could spell and they knew I could read.
Yeah, so now when they know you can read and spell, whose idea is it to use
They
reading or
said
spelling
that,
for communication?
Mr. White, there was argument. There was argument because somebody was saying I was just copying things that I saw, but that it didn't mean anything to me. And
Like copying a pattern, not thinking and reading.
that it didn't mean anything. And that was when Mr. White asked the question, said, do you have a dog or do you have a cat? So I spelled out dog because I had a dog.
And he knew and you knew.
Yes, and that was when they said that it wasn't just random words. It meant that I knew what the words meant.
And when someone, Mr. White, said, do you have a cat or a dog? Was he standing
Behind me.
behind you? So you're only listening to his words.
Yeah, because I kept trying to run around and climb. I got distracted a lot.
And when he asked the question, did he tell you type an answer, or did he put his hand on your hand? What did he do? Okay. Okay, so I'm you. Okay, so
Like, do you have a cat or a dog? Do you have a cat or a dog? Do you have a cat or a dog?
and then what did you do?
They said,
Then you're finding. Did he let you
said,
go to the
they
sea?
said, Peter, you're doing it.
Okay, so you're
So
going,
he went like this.
and then you still went
D-O-G.
D-O-G. And his hand is like maybe on your elbow or something, or on your only on your back,
Yes.
because they go, Mr. White, you're making her spell it.
You're doing it. Yeah. Peter, you're doing it.
So let go.
He did.
Yes,
So
and
he
then,
let go.
but he still has his hand here.
Yes.
And still you can, you're 12 years old, and you can go
D-O-G.
D-O-G.
Then I'll try to get away from the chair again.
And then move.
And what he said, and then he asked again, do you have a dog or a cat? So,
Don't touch her, Mr. White says. So now is his hand still
Yes.
here? Yeah, but not on your arm or hand.
no, here, look, like that.
He's turning your neck so you look. Because you
So
might be
you're going
like
to
this.
running around.
Oh, yeah, okay, so
trying
I'm
to get away.
Okay, so if I'm pretending to be you, I'm trying to leave, and he's going, and now you can sit long enough to go D, and then are you going to try to go away again?
No.
Okay, now you're ready to keep
Because
going.
I started the pattern.
Oh, geez.
And I would never leave something unfinished.
Because you need to finish it.
I had to finish it before I go to the next thing. So I spelled it, and then I would run off. And that was when everything, after that was when everything was changing.
Because you could type without him making your hand go, you could do it all by yourself.
No, it was because they said I understood what the words meant. it wasn't so much that I created or recreated the word, but that I created the word or recreated the word in connection to something else, as in to answer a question, as in it was like knowing the difference between a dog and a cat, or
And that Mr. White didn't hold your hand and when you were typing. He held your neck and made your head turn to the keyboard.
yes,
But he didn't put his hand on it and make you go D.
because the other Goldie had to hold his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So Michael was not what they said salvageable.
And I have to ask you a question, because this is also interesting to me, but I don't want to wear you out. Believe it or not, we've been doing this for a whole hour.
Oh,
So I love to do more, but I don't want to make this too much. So what do you think? Should we do some more, yes or no?
I don't know. Now remembering that, no.
I know, I'm loving hearing all this. Parts of this is so interesting to me.
Because I did it by myself, that's why I got the attention.
But also at the same time, they had letters you set up around the classroom, and you wrote to me how you would tap from J all the way to U.
Yes, but they didn't get that.
So they just thought you're running back and forth and playing. Like banging on the keyboard is not typing. But for you, did you have to have the sound when you tapped or only touching?
I would do this all of it. This, yeah.
So did you have to, in order
I counted.
I know you were counting, but did touching stay if you start at J and you're counting to U?
I didn't know I was counting because I didn't have the numbers. Just like the pattern.
Like the
I
pattern
didn't know.
of this many sounds, this many touches or sounds gets to this U.
Like
This many touches or sounds gets me back to this L.
yes.
This many more gets me to the I.
Yes.
This many more gets me to H or whatever
That
would be next.
stuff like that. That was but nobody got that. Michael got it, but nobody cared about that. You know?
And Michael was another boy like you.
He couldn't talk.
But for you, so you started, before you started typing on a keyboard, were you doing this or after on the letters around the room? Were you before, but nobody understood except Michael.
Maybe someone else, the other kids.
But no typical adult understood.
No.
And so this was the pattern with the typing along the wall.
There's useful patterns and not so useful patterns.
Now,
A useful pattern creates an effect. A not so useful pattern doesn't change anything.
so how did you get the idea to start typing, or not typing, but tapping on the wall with the letters? That's your own idea, because no adult was taking you and saying, try to spell your name here. They did it with the typing on the keyboard, but not with the letters on the wall.
Yeah.
So that's your own idea.
Yes, that's why I say that every child has natural learning.
Yeah.
But you give up what doesn't serve.
Anything that keeps making you feel invisible, you give up.
Yes.
Oh, that's very profound. It's very true.
If it doesn't change anything, then there's no point of it. There's no point in speaking a language no one else understands. Or someone else does, but can't change anything either.
What was it like to not be able to do a tapping pattern with the keyboard? Because you were used to tapping on the wall, a pattern, but on a keyboard, if you tap, from J, if you were to tap over to the U, all the letters would be typed
Because
out.
all the words the whole pattern was off. So that meant the whole communication was off because everything was not the way it was supposed to. Because Jay was not 11 anymore.
Yeah.
So
What was the pattern for typing?
but it was different because when I was trying to work it another way, Mr. White was trying to work it his way, somewhat like, then I figured out that I could do the alphabet and then recreate the words, like recreate my name that was on everything, or recreate Dick and Jane and Spot.
Yes.
So I did that, and
But then you weren't doing a pattern.
no, just a different pattern. Everything's a pattern. Spelling dog there's a like you want to spell dog, the pattern is D-O-G. That's the pattern.
But there's no tapping if it's on a typewriter.
There's no tapping. It's a different pattern.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's a different pattern, so like it's a different pattern.
Okay, I want to stop for a minute. Because I don't want to run out of tape here, and be in the middle of a sentence. So I'm going to do stop.